I never thought I'd be making a video like this. I never thought I'd have a story like this to tell. For years, I've watched other people share their deepest secrets here, finding some comfort in the anonymity, in the shared vulnerability. And now it's my turn. I guess I need to get this off my chest before it completely consumes me. This is going to be hard to say and even harder to live with. I cheated on my husband. And not just with anyone. I cheated with his brother. She pauses, eyes welling up slightly. A hand comes up to briefly cover her mouth. Yeah, take a minute with that one. I know how it sounds. Trust me, every single day I hear it screaming in my own head. Let me take you back. My husband, Mark, he's a good man, a really good man. We've been married for 7 years, together for 10. We built a life, a home, shared dreams, the whole 9 yards. We were comfortable, content even, or so I told myself. We had our routines, our inside jokes, our little rituals. But somewhere along the line, the spark, it started to dim. It wasn't anyone's fault, not really. Life just gets in the way, right? Work, bills, the never-ending to-do lists. We stopped really seeing each other, I think. We were roommates, partners in a logistical sense, but the passion, the emotional intimacy, it felt like it was slipping through my fingers like sand. And then there's Liam, Mark's younger brother. Liam is different. Where Mark is steady and dependable, Liam is spontaneous and a little bit wild. He's charming, always has a quick laugh, and he has this way of looking at you, like he's actually, listening to every single word. Like you're the most fascinating person in the room. He was always around, naturally. Family dinners, holiday gatherings, helping Mark with house projects. I'd always just seen him as, well, Mark's brother. Harmless. Part of the background. Until about 6 months ago. Mark was under a lot of pressure at work. He was often stressed, tired, distant. I tried to be supportive, I really did. But I also felt alone, unseen. And it was around that time that Liam started coming over more often. Not just for Mark, but sometimes when Mark was busy, he'd still swing by. To drop something off, or just for a quick chat. And those chats, they started to linger. He'd make me laugh, really laugh, in a way I hadn't in ages. He'd ask me about my day, not just as a courtesy, but with genuine interest, remembering details from previous conversations. He'd compliment my dress, my hair, or just say something like, "You know, you have this really warm smile when you're talking about your passions." Little things. Little, seemingly innocent things that started to chip away at the walls I didn't even realize I had built around my own heart. The thrill started subtly. It was a flutter in my stomach when I knew he was coming over. A sudden, heightened awareness when he was in the room. I'd catch his eye across the dinner table, and there'd be a shared glance, a small smile that felt like it held a secret. It was wrong. Every fiber of my being screamed that it was wrong. This was Mark's brother, family, taboo. But the forbidden nature of it, that's what made it so intoxicating, so thrilling. It felt like I was waking up from a long sleep. My senses were sharper, colors brighter, music sounded sweeter. And it was all because of this dangerous, unspoken connection. One evening, Mark was out late with colleagues. Liam had stopped by earlier to drop off some tools, and he'd stayed for a coffee. We were talking about our childhoods, sharing stories, just really connecting on a deep level. The house was quiet, the evening light was fading, and there was this palpable intimacy in this. He reached out and gently brushed a stray hair from my face. It was such a small gesture, but it sent a jolt through me. My breath caught. Gasps. His eyes were so intense, and in that moment, I knew he felt it too. The air crackled. He didn't pull away immediately. His fingers lingered, tracing my jawline. My heart was pounding, a frantic drum in my chest. Rushed. I could have pulled back. I should have pulled back. But I just couldn't. My body felt like it was humming, alive in a way it hadn't been in years. Then he leaned in, slowly, and he kissed me. She looks away for a moment, visibly distressed. It was everything I hadn't realized I was missing. It was passionate, it was desperate, it was electrifying. And it was utterly, completely wrong. The thrill was blinding in that moment, an overwhelming surge of adrenaline and raw desire. It felt like I was flying, weightless, unbound. And when it was over, when we finally broke apart, the crash was immediate and brutal. The thrill evaporated, replaced by a cold, searing wave of guilt that washed over me so fiercely it made me physically ill. My stomach clenched, my hands started to tremble. Liam looked at me, his eyes wide, a mixture of regret and confusion. I shouldn't have," he whispered. And I just nodded, unable to speak, the shame already closing its grip around my throat. That was the first time. It wasn't the last. The guilt became a constant companion, then a heavy cloak I wore everywhere. Every time I looked at Mark, every time he touched me, every time he said, "I love you," the guilt would twist deeper. It felt like I was poisoning everything pure and good in my life. I couldn't meet his eyes properly. I started making excuses to avoid intimacy, lying awake at night staring at the ceiling, replaying Liam's touch, Liam's words, and hating myself for it. But then, Liam would text. A casual, "Hey, how are you?" A seemingly innocent question that always led to more. And the thrill, that insidious, addictive thrill, would creep back in. The danger of it, the forbidden nature of our secret, it was like a drug. It made me feel alive, even as it was killing me inside. We'd meet in secret, stolen moments, quick glances, hushed conversations. Each time, the emotional high would be incredible, followed by an even deeper plunge into self-loathing. I was caught in a vicious cycle, hating myself, hating what I was doing, but feeling utterly powerless to stop. The fear of being caught was paralyzing. Every knock at the door, every unexpected phone call sent my heart into a frantic rhythm. What if Mark found out? What would happen? Our life, our family, would shatter into a million pieces. The thought alone was unbearable. And yet, I kept walking that line. I rationalized it to myself, told myself it was just a phase, that I would stop, that I could get control. But I never did. Whispers. The weight of the secret has become unbearable. I can't sleep. I can't eat properly. My reflection in the mirror shows a stranger, hollow-eyed and haunted. I look at Mark and I see the wonderful man I've betrayed, and the pain is a physical ache. I see Liam and I see the wreckage we've created. I don't know what comes next. I don't know if I'll ever be able to tell Mark. The thought terrifies me more than anything. This isn't a redemption story, not yet anyway. This is just a confession, an admission of guilt, of weakness, of terrible choices. I needed to say it out loud, into the void, to someone, anyone, because keeping this inside, it's literally destroying me. I guess I just needed to let it out, to finally speak the truth, even if it's only to a camera and to myself. Thank you for listening. She closes her eyes for a moment, a single tear escaping, then opens them, looking defeated but also a little lighter, as if a small weight has been lifted. The video fades to black.